Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Killer Snow, and today we are going to be going back into some level design. We're going to be starting off from scratch on a new project, a new sets of limitations, new expectations, etc., etc. Oh yeah, I just also realized that we don't have our desktop audio there. There we go. And I can toss this on now just a little bit, and maybe shuffle that up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's right. Because iTunes will stupidly not change the audio device if it's changed while it's open. Interesting. Oh no, interesting isn't the word I'm looking for. Stupid. Yeah, there we go. Today we're going to kick off the stream though with a little something different. We received a request to do a review of a recently released game trailer. As in, the game trailer was recently released, not the game was released yet. We're all hoping it'll be released because the request was for the extended state of play official gameplay reveal for Hogwarts Legacy. So we're gonna do another. Oh, hey Mike. Hey, what's going on? So we're gonna be doing a new little. We're gonna redo a little intro because I'm gonna want to clip it out and upload it elsewhere. But we are going to go ahead and do our review for this. We'll put this right here. Make sure that it's. I gotta make sure that my HDR is not currently on. No HDR support. Good. We're good on that. Did iTunes ever open back up again? I don't think it did. I'll type that out again. Also, I'm gonna go into the studio mode here so that way I can prepare our main screen, turn off the game capture, make sure that we're all set up in that regard.
Alright, so this is a Baki track, right? So the chorus just has to be so over the...
We'll hit that again. There we go. Awesome. We got some music playing. I've got the video pulled up technically. Where's this? Where's this? Okay, I'm going to close those. And have this one here. I can close out that Instagram. And have that open. Okay, so I think we're all set up. Hey, Special Kev, what's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and swap over to our live screen here soon. Oh, I just accidentally swapped over, so hey, it doesn't matter. Hey, we're here. Hey, what's going on? Fuck. Woo! One day I'll do things flawlessly. Until then, we're just going to keep on winging it. Okay, that song is way too good, and we'll restart it over once we're done with our review. So I'm going to do another little intro here, starting... What? Yeah. Okay, so... we're gonna go ahead and say, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel here on the YouTube side of things, and today we are going to be breaking down / reviewing / reacting to the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play official gameplay reveal, the recent extended trailer that they released, which is, holy crap, that is a 14-minute long trailer, but we'll go ahead and knock that out, and we're going to try and view it from, we're going to try and rein in the gamer perspective, and try and change our mindset over to more of a developer mindset and a design mindset, and look at the various things that they are doing, you know, behind the scenes. So we're just going to go ahead and kick this off here. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a volume boost too. There's going to be a lot of pausing here because I want to get a good look at all of the things that are involved here, so I'm just going to click into it, make sure that I can pause as needed. Okay. Usual cinema
Lumos.
cinematic stuff. In-game footage, work in progress. So this is assumed to be actual gameplay footage. It might be a small in-game cutscene, or maybe this is actually playing from the player's perspective, in which case that means that the camera is kind of freestanding and stationary in certain spots. I don't think that'll be the case, though. I'm pretty sure that they will keep this as like an in-game cutscene.
What do you think you're doing here?
Okay, so a few things to note. First off, the lighting and the visual effects. I'm sorry for this bar that keeps showing up here. I don't know why YouTube Player keeps on doing this, and I've been trying to find solutions, but no one seems to have this particular issue with some weird discoloration happening like halfway down there, and it happens on any of my monitors, so I don't know. I know it's not HDR happening. It's some weird thing is happening that's causing this to always be there. Don't know what to do about it, though. So, something I wanted to point out is typically when we see Hogwarts in the movies or anything, we usually notice, like, heavy fog effects because, you know, mystical whatever that they always do. I'm also going to turn down that volume a little bit again. I turned it up for you guys a little bit at the start, but now it's too much.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
So we're not seeing any, like, fog effects. The creature designs are great. Something that's really gonna bother me trying to do this, but I had noticed at a glance before. I think I can actually just. I'm gonna turn down the speed a little bit since I can't just rely on pausing for stuff. Bear with the audio here, but this is how I'm going to be able to see certain things. The physics look good. That creature design looks great. I noticed that the dragon's tongue clipped into its mouth a little bit, and it was a little flatter. It could have been rounded out a little bit more, depending. The physics on the tendrils of that creature, unless there's like actual muscle behind it and it can maneuver them individually, wouldn't make sense. Alright, let's get this back to normal. There we go. Sorry about that, awful audio
Welcome
quality
to
thing.
Hogwarts Legacy.
There we go. Now we're getting
You're
a bit
new
more
student at the
lighting.
famed School of
That
Witchcraft
looks
and
more
Wizardry,
like the
with a unique ability
more
to
like actual
manipulate
gameplay
powerful
camera
ancient
angle over
magic
the shoulder,
hidden in the wizarding world.
which is much
You'll
more
need to
common in
uncover
games
what's
nowadays
behind
anyway.
the return of this forgotten magic, and who is seeking
Hold
to
up.
harness it to destroy
I noticed something with a character movement.
what's behind the return ancient magic hidden in the wizarding world. You'll need to uncover what's
Okay, yeah,
behind
that-
the
that
return
character
of
on
this
the
forgotten
left
magic, and
isn't
who is
actually
seeking to
moving his
harness it
legs.
to destroy wizard kind. As you may
This
be the
isn't
one that
obviously the
decides
end game
the fate
product
of
because
the entire
by
wizarding
the
world.
very end of their production cycle, like they'll be doing things up until the very last minute, up
Before
until
you can
the
study magic
last
and begin
week,
to
last
solve
month
these
to
mysteries,
finalize
you
and put
must
last
create
minute
the
things
witch
in,
or
like
wizard you want to be.
fog effects and just like the flavor that can really
When you
give
arrive
life
at
to a scene.
Hogwarts, you will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor,
Like that sorting hat, I'm
Hufflepuff,
pretty sure that's
Ravenclaw,
gonna be
or Slytherin.
a
After
interim
you settle
sorting
into
hat
your
thing.
dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room. You will then need to attend classes, and you do have some catching up to do, as you were starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
Okay, so texturing looks good. I want to point out like the size and scope of the rooms, and with Hogwarts you can do a particularly unique thing where everything isn't like boxy. And even if something does start off boxy, it's a magical castle, and you could literally change it up. That's one of the glorious things about working with the intellectual property or IP of anything that's magic based or multiverse based or anything like that. You can literally bend all of the rules of physics, of time and space, and really get creative with your concepts. So I wanted to bring attention to some of the dynamic things that are happening in the background. When I hit play again and it transitions to the scene where there's like a suit of armor in the back, you could see that the suit of armor is like moving and leaning, and I'm fairly certain that these paintings were moving. And there's a lot for Hogwarts, there should be a lot of movement, a lot of activity, a lot of little subtle things that are out of the ordinary. So it's really nice seeing
And you
that
do have
they
some
paid
catching up
attention
to
some
do,
things. We
as
have
you were
those
starting
sparks
Hogwarts
happening.
late
There's that
as a
suit
fifth
of
year.
armor
So
moving.
you are the new student.
You'll begin your
We
studies
have some.
attending.
We have diversity. We've got some diversity. Excellent. Not having Lee Levine be the only other person of color in Hogwarts. Excellent. Wait, I think I fucked up names. Either way, y'all know what I'm talking about. There was one character, one person of color that they had in all of Hogwarts. Maybe two. Like, they literally had, like, just individual diversity hires because there was very little diversity from what I saw in the initial, like, main cast.
Charms, defense
Which
against
can
the
make
dark
sense
arts,
given the
herbology, and potions
geographic
classes,
location.
to name a few.
Oh, hello, class. Please welcome the newest rose in our garden.
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge.
The best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two.
Time
Okay.
for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
So something else we want to point out, because this is something that we just kind of really touched on today. Actually, we were having discussions about it. Is where to like draw the line for your scope and how much to show the player. So notice we know what's on the outside of the walls of Hogwarts. We know that it's surrounded by the woods, the Forbidden Forest. We know that there's the lake. There's all of this beautiful scenery, and we also know from the movies that it's really only like the Great Hall that has the really ornate mosaic style like glass and stained glass effects. Hey Dusk, welcome. But here we can see that they went with a more frosted appearance, and even though we can see that there is light pouring in, which honestly those are probably just emissive textures, but we can see that there's light pouring in, but we can't see out through it, and that, you know, inhibits the player's vision. It keeps them focused on this moment in here, and it also keeps us from, you know, if you're actually playing the game, it keeps them from having to use resources to render everything outside of the castle at all times. So naturally, if they don't need to show it, they're not going to. They will imply it as often as need be, like in their
You may begin.
attention to physics. Hopefully it won't cause any too many issues, because a lot of physics-based things can result in a few problems, like jittering and jumping. I think by now the game industry has gotten a lot better about things like that.
Dinner?
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous
Malfoy for us
subjects
here?
taught at this school.
Here you'll meet your professors and learn to cast spells, grow magical plants, brew
Okay.
potions, and more.
Okay, so basically what the announcer is saying and what they're showing us is that they're going to have a bunch of different special systems that are going to be more unique to this game than it is in than you would find in other types
And
of
learn
games.
to cast spells, grow
Spell
magical
casting,
plants.
herbalism, and like a sort of gardening mechanic thing where you can grow particular plants and herbs, which is probably all going to be used for potions making. So it looks like there's a lot of interlocking and interwoven systems that rely
Brew
on one
potions and more. In between classes, you'll be able to explore the castle famous for its secrets,
Open world.
enchantments, and mysteries.
another. Open world within the castle walls.
You'll discover dungeons and secret passageways,
Very open.
as well as challenging puzzles that will require magical skill and a clever mind to solve.
So we've got puzzle-based and gated puzzle-based things and gated areas that require certain abilities to get by. So technically, in older games, you would come up to like, you would go up to that painting, and it would be like you heard rumors that there was a door behind here, but you don't know the password, and that would imply, oh shit, well, I want to be able to get in here. I need to go do this thing. So that is a spot like that is considered a gate. So we know that there's now going to be gated areas and hidden areas that can only be accessed once you have particular abilities. So he waved his wand, something happened, door opens, right? But if he doesn't know exactly which painting that happens at, or he doesn't know what spell, I'm noticing up here, y'all can see my mouse, up here, that seems to be a glowing icon on certain areas, because if we go back,
magic
right
dungeons
there,
and secret passageways,
I'll move the mouse. So you see right down there, he targets that. It's a handle. It lifts up
as
when
well
he
as
uses
challenging
Accio,
puzzles
and
that will
he
require
ripped
magical
right onto
skill
there,
and
pulled
a
it
clever
down,
mind
and
to solve.
there it goes. So it sets the precedence that you will be looking for handles
You
like
may
that.
even find yourself
and
in
be able to
iconic
find secrets
locations
like that.
you've never been able to explore
Oh,
before.
house elves. Poor Dobby. Oh, hey, prefect's bathroom. So I do like their character design is just amazing right now. I have a feeling, again, with Hogwarts stuff. You know how in older games, when something is interactable or there's a hidden wall or something, it always looked a little bit lighter than the rest of the stuff? And I'm kind of getting that feel from the mermaid, even though I know that's not the intention, or at least it shouldn't be the intention that there's a hidden item back there, because they should be better about that stuff by now. But I think the reason that it looks that particular way is because of the fact that almost all Hogwarts, portraits, paintings, and artwork moves and is alive. So that's probably going to move at some
It's
point.
the
I
late
noticed that the pool
1800s,
is smaller
so while
than they
the common
depicted in
rooms
the
and
movies,
classes may be
which
familiar,
were
most of your
smaller than
professors
what
will
was
not be.
depicted in the books.
However, you may recognize a few faces.
Oh, nearly headless Nick.
All in good fun. Once Sir Patrick lets me join the Headless Hunt, I'll be right there with them.
Still trying to get the Headless
Sure
Hunt,
to
I
win them
see.
over.
So, keeping to the IP of Harry Potter, they're going ahead and obviously introducing characters and everything that we already know and would be looking forward to seeing, because they know that their fan base has been around for a while now. So there's certain things that the fan base would be very remiss and upset about if it didn't appear, such as Nearly Headless Nick or certain of the other ghosts, because they are just such an integral part of the castle, and the fact that they exist in the books and never in the movies almost is a little ridiculous. I can understand, because movies, they need to cut things out, but in the game world, there's so much more you can add, and I'm hoping that they're not going to try and put Peeves as a DLC or something, because that'd be stupid. But being able to see those characters come to life is an important thing. It's smart of them for this gameplay reveal trailer to show that there are going to be familiar elements that we have been acquainted with over the years.
Don't forget why I'm here, sir.
You'll come to know
I'm
this
glad
eclectic group of
I'm glad to notice that the lighting isn't all just either super, super dim or dreary looking, because it is inside of a castle that is very old, so a lot of people would typically go for the, dank, dim lighting feel, almost like the dungeons in the potions class and everything, right? Just have that, but everywhere, and that kind of just, it makes it boring for the eyes, right? So the fact that we've got, in that one thing where I was pointing out the frosted windows, we noticed that, there's light coming in. It was a well-lit room. This is a well-lit
talented
room,
witches and wizards
it's,
in class,
wood
and while completing
and
side
stuff
assignments
mixed in
that
with
are
the
part of
stone.
a special curriculum. One's designed to help you catch up with the other
Looks
fifth
like
years
Accio
at
is
your
going to be
own
one
speed.
of the biggest spells here. There we go.
Lumos.
So there's going to be flying mechanics, more than likely.
Opportunities for
That's
adventure
a boss
abound
battle.
in
That
the
is
area
a boss
surrounding
battle,
Hogwarts.
100%.
The magical abilities you learn to master through your
See all this beautiful world building right here. I can tell that this is all probably going to be kind of vistas and stuff that you see playing out in cinematic cutscenes, but it's not going to be like the in-game cutscenes where everything is like the playable game's graphics. And I'm saying that because as I'm looking at it, even though the bottom is kind of covered by the this annoying ass line right here, we can see that there is, more texture quality, a better quality of work to the rocks here, to the grass in the distance. We can actually see individual blades of grass happening right here at this really obstructive line. But we see that there's more detail and more foliage and
schoolwork
stuff.
will soon
It
become
looks
tested
cleaner.
as you unravel a dangerous mystery by working alongside the accomplished and yet enigmatic Professor Fig to try and discover if the rumors of a mounting goblin rebellion hold any weight, and if the safety of
Right there, they just introduced the main storyline. Okay, so you're going to start off your thing as you know, a fifth year that just got to Hogwarts, and you're under a special lesson plan to get you caught up. So you're going to be that explains why your character is going to be learning spells faster. It's going to have special permissions to go do classes and all this other stuff probably. But it's going to be more than just, you know, welcome to Hogwarts, you're a normal everyday student. They're giving your character an actual reason for doing the things that they're doing, which now is the task of finding out if there's an actual goblin rebellion about to happen. I was wondering why they were putting the emphasis on the goblins at what looked like Gringotts, and why one of them had like really big gauntlets, because I always thought the goblins were very strong magically, but physically not so much.
Hogwarts lies in the balance.
I have. Opinions differ as to how great a threat he really is.
Okay. Strong magically and not physically. Okay, so they've got one really strong guy that's leading a rebellion.
The wizarding world of this era is fraught with dangers.
Okay, so here we see some combat. We see that it's obviously not going to be like melee combat, because you're a teenager and you should not be you know, punching mythical creatures. So you're going to be using your wand, which means you're going to want to keep your enemies at a good distance. I'm assuming that higher difficulty levels is going to have them hitting like a train and being hyper aggressive, whereas normal mode, they'll keep a distance probably like this and give you time to work on them one at a time while you've got some ranged enemies. We can see at the top over here you've got ranged enemies, so you're going to have to worry about that. Actually, the combat setup almost looks a little bit like the recent God of War, but obviously without all of the extra fancy physical combat
Creatures
stuff.
corrupted by a magical force, powerful goblins, and
the
sinister
goblins are
witches
using
and
some
wizards,
magic
all
to-
willing to fight, even kill, to achieve their own goals.
So it looks like there's a combat spell
fact, there's an
combos,
uneasy
and
alliance
you can
between
combo
the
certain
goblins and
movements
dark
together
wizards.
to
You
cast
said
specific
you could
spells.
get to the
That's
troll when
interesting.
they came to Hogsmeade. That all you needed was a distraction. I gave you a distraction.
I just watched a student take down your distraction. Who is this
What's up?
child? Are you not telling me?
But perhaps you shouldn't involve yourself with that just yet.
Let's go.
Okay. So, lots of story reveals there. This is another Vista thing, where your character was probably walking alongside the NPC, or you're watching the cinematic, because this again feels like a more cinematic moment. Yeah, that's a cinematic, because you're not in control of your character when this is happening. So cinematic mode enabled, that looks gorgeous, and that kind of sets the precedent for, you know, that being something that'll happen more frequently. So I'm guessing that that there are going to be quite a few areas that will need bridges assembled out of nothing, because that's something cool to look at. It's something that will catch the player's interest, and it'll also make them start looking for other things that might be, you know, hidden or accessible through magical means that they wouldn't initially think of. Lots of particle effects, though. Trying to stream a game like this with high
Enemies
graphics would
possess
probably
unique defensive
tank
and
a lot of
offensive
systems.
abilities, including blasting curses, stunning spells, enchanted weaponry, and more.
Okay, so when they said blasting spells and stunning spells, essentially what that is also telling us is that you're going to need to use some of these for a strategy, like using the stunning spells, or I'm seeing that rock over there that says R1, so I'm assuming that R1 would be using, say, Accio to grab it, lift it up, or Wingardium Leviosa to lift it up and then smack an enemy with it, which I'm assuming, depending on the item, could cause a stun. In other words, crowd control. So crowd control based combat, to go ahead and make your life easier, is basically confirmed.
While some may
here.
attack
That is
directly,
real nice.
others
And that-
might enchant
Did you see that? Something that people may not
enchanted
notice right
weaponry
there.
and more.
He hit that guy, and then the spell went and shot off in another direction, and he hit him again,
Some may attack
and he's still progressing forward, and it launched back, hits the player,
Directly,
and it looks like the
others
player
might
got
enchant.
staggered, and then that
Weaponry
dude at the
and
far
more.
right,
While some may attack
I'm gonna right here, this guy right here,
directly,
bam,
others
he
might
hits you,
enchant
levitates
and
you, so that means that your player character is also able to be crowd controlled and comboed.
incapacitate you.
Oh, yep,
Mastery
there it
of the
is.
shield
Petrificus
charm
Totalis.
allows you to
Knock
deflect
down
ranged
shields,
spells
deflections.
and direct weapon strikes.
See, without even listening to the announcer, we already know all of this because within one or two scenes it showed various tidbits, so we can extrapolate that those are features, those are things that we're going to need to know, that we are eventually going to learn throughout the progress of playing this game. Let's take a look at this area here, do a little actual level design, a little look at this. We can see, you know, the pillars, okay, they're a little scarred up, a little damaged, so this is probably going to be some sort of hidden temple area. We see some sort of altar dedicated to someone here, and we notice that even though it is what looks like a basic square, rectangular, like boxy room, it is still broken up by the pillars here. It's broken up and expanded by adding some pillars here, and then these side areas. It breaks up the monotony, and the debris and everything also works in its favor to break up just the flat ground, this cobblestone here, that we can see the cobblestone and all of this detailing in the floor looks to be just textured on. So how do you make that seem less like a flat linoleum surface with some stickers on it? You go ahead and add debris. Right? You add a little ground clutter. You add more to steer the eyes away from the fact that the floor tiling all kind of looks the same, and it repeats every 3 blocks. 3.5. Dirt smudge. Block, 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 dirt smudge. Block, 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 dirt smudge. Block, 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 dirt smudge. Block, going all the way up. Completely repeating pattern. So you want to break that up? You toss some other crap in the way to go ahead and make sure that it isn't as easily visible. Explosives that you go ahead and use R1 to pick it up, and then you target the enemy and throw it. We called that one.
Powerful stunning charms.
I'm seeing a little leather tanning rack here. That could just be some flavor, but I'd like to think that they'd also have some sort of leather working thing, just because I think that'd be nifty.
Allowing you to follow up with extended spell combinations.
Comboing the crap out of them. As we saw, he was juggling them up in the air, which means that they can do it to you as well.
Students who become particularly adept at...
I also want to point out something that I just picked up here. You heard that, right? Listen here very closely. We could hear Incendio being cast from our
Students
left.
who become...
So that means there is directionality to the audio coming from the enemies and coming from the NPCs and everything like that. And that is an important thing to note because we were playing, what was it, Bioshock 2 last time on stream, and we noticed that the splicers, their voices were omnidirectional. In some cases, we could hear exactly where it was coming from, like, oh, I hear that coming out of this here, so that means that it's, like, somewhere on the map, that side of the map, across some walls and stuff that I can't see them right now. But in most cases, it was omnidirect, like a UI sound, like you were navigating a menu. It was just there in everything, so it was like the splicer was talking into both ears at the same time, and it just didn't give it any direction. So the fact that they gave it such a clear and concise direction to that guy saying Incendio, we know that that is probably going to play an important part with knowing what's going on around you for these fight situations, because if we also go back, we can see that because that guy was off screen, we've got another person to the right.
Extended spell combinations.
Yep, that guy went off. They will actually surround you. So you could be surrounded on all sides by enemies. We can see that there was a deflection there too, so that's important. The audio helps you know when to deflect. It's like playing the Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man game that came out initially for like PlayStation, I think. I forget exactly what the full title of it was because they always have Spider-Man blah 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 blah. But it was anytime you wanted to do a perfect counter, it would have the counter icon that would show up as you're getting attacked, but then it would turn blue for a perfect counter. So I have a feeling that you have to learn the timings in this like you did over there, with less of a visual aid and more audio. and just kind of time it right. So if you hit it where it's like, yeah, they're attacking you and yeah, you're countering, but it's not perfect, I have a feeling that's what's going to just launch the spell to some random location, and then getting a perfect one will deflect it directly
The
back.
adept at spellcasting will find many ways to exploit their enemy's weakness.
Yep. So, undead, zombies, fire, heavy enemies. Okay. Several things to take advantage of, including possibly enemies having a weight
Slam
class.
with Descendo. Roast with Incendio. Devastate your enemies using various finishes. You can even use the
finishes,
mysterious, powerful magic your professors do not understand to obliterate your strongest foes.
Hello. Okay, so there is the slightly unbelievable slash it's the Wizarding World, so it's believable little twist. So the main character, something that a lot of video games, at least when it comes to multiplayer games, fail to do is get a proper balance of things. So, like, Wizarding World, everyone can be infinitely strong depending on what their morality and where they're willing to draw certain lines are, right? And of course, natural skill, practice, etc. But if someone wants to go dark and wants to explore the worst parts of magic, and they do so and don't get caught, then they will be, ridiculously powerful. Or vice versa. They wind up like Dumbledore, but still ridiculously powerful, and also because they live for a really long time and can just study more. But your main character here is now made special and stands out above all the other students, not only because your character starts off as a 5th year instead of starting 1st year and working your way through the ranks, but you also have a special lesson plan. You're getting special tutoring from your teachers, and now adding to the story of trying to figure out what's going on with this goblin rebellion and whatever is secretly behind all of that, your character also has some unknown magic. That makes it a little that's where I say it's an unbelievable quality, but also a believable one, strictly because it is the Wizarding World. We'll continue here.
Mixing and matching dozens
Ranged
of spells will
enemy that
let
he
you
just fought
define
up.
your
That's
combat style.
really nice. We can see that that anvil off to the
On
left,
your
so
path to become
situational
the
awareness is a
ultimate
thing.
duelist.
Nice. Their combat system is actually really interesting. I can appreciate the various bits and pieces that went into the various inspirations that went into it.
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time.
In addition to classes and spells,
here we
you'll
go.
have access to a deep set of
This
upgrade.
is new. Okay, these sounds improve your abilities in the room of requirements. Okay, so that's something we know of. This right here is already also giving us a lot, because now we know how many different little features are going to be, in their menus. So we know we're going to have a character screen where we'll probably keep tabs on all of our stats. We have our inventory screen, so we know that there's going to be items that we need to collect. Talents, so talent points based on level. We see that this character is level 12, so we know that they have a whole leveling system, and it's not just based on go around, learn things, gain points. You actually get experience points for doing things now. We see collections, challenges, so that means there's going to be collectibles hidden in places, which obviously that's a very easy sub-objective to give players in a game, so that way they don't just burn through all of the content and then have nothing else to do. Because there are people that are going to do, okay, let me see how fast I can speed run this, and then they'll find a way to like break the game and beat it in 5 minutes. But, if that's all there is to it and there's nothing for them to go back and collect, then they already know the end of the story. So you got to give them a reason to, and collections is a way to do that. Collectibles is a huge way to do that. Map screen, that's, basic, settings, quests, basic. Although quest is good because that means that tells us that there's a quest log, and that means that we will probably be given multiple things to do in each level, sub-quest wise. We'll have optional quests that we'll have to keep track of, because if it's all just one main story quest, again, you'll burn right through it and then not really have much. So we know we're going to have multiple quests, collectibles. The challenges is another fun one, because that means that there's going to be particular things that you can do or try to do, and there's going to be a lot of people. I know, because I'm going to be one of them that's going to open that challenges menu immediately, so that way I don't miss out on any of them that might be one shot, you know, if you don't do this thing with this one boss, then you don't get this achievement kind of thing. So that's going to be a good time sink too, and just kind of fun content all around, because providing challenges so that way the player doesn't have to come up with their own, it's saving them trouble of trying to come up with ways to entertain themselves, and we provide them the entertainment by having everything pre-crafted.
Its talents and skills to aid your progression.
Stealth, these talents oh, okay, so these are different categories of talents. They're not even showing us what the actual talents are.
Complete challenges
there's
throughout
5
the world
categories.
to earn experience.
5
Level
categories
up
of
your abilities
talents.
by choosing talents to upgrade your
Stealth.
spells, plants, and potions to increase their power. Decide which
Petrificus
talents best
totalis.
fit your playstyle
Nice.
to allow
So
you to focus
stealth
on your
elements like that.
favorite
Oh
types
my
of
god.
magic.
Okay, yeah.
You
Oh,
can
he
also
killed that
loot,
person.
buy, or craft your own magical gear.
Buy
This will
or
increase
craft.
your
We called the
offensive and
crafting
defensive
system.
capabilities in combat. Gear
There's
can be
collecting the
upgraded
plants and stuff to
specialized
use.
to allow for greater abilities for
Traits,
your chosen
upgrades, and
playstyle.
appearance. So that's there's a lot of systems to go over in this. Holy shit! No wonder this is a bigger gameplay trailer.
Upgraded.
So collecting your items, ingredients, reagents, all that stuff for use in crafting, which we now know the crafting is not only going to be for like classes like potions and stuff. Now we know that it's going to be you can craft your own gear. I don't know if that's limited to just crafting special robes, inlays, if you can craft your own wand, maybe?
And specialized to allow for greater abilities for your chosen playstyle.
Upgrades, traits that you can add to your stuff. Yeah, see, look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so, if, shit, y'all weren't there when I was having that conversation with Graham. I was just talking to one of my professors today about something that has been on my mind and something that I have wanted to personally do in games, and that is to really make crafting systems feel more hands-on rather than being something that no one wants to do as a profession or anything anymore because they just want all the action and stuff, and no one wants to sit there and watch a number counter rise while, you know, other number counters fall, being you've made this much of this item using this much of this resource. And that's all crafting is to a lot of people. I have for a long time wanted to create a type of crafting where it is more involved, where the control inputs kind of mimic, you know, certain actual movements and actions, where the process that you have to do is more than just gather reagent, use reagent to output this item. Like, I want them to actually mill the reagents out, refine them, and go ahead and make things of various different potencies to go ahead and use in different things. Like, I want really in-depth crafting systems that make you feel like you're learning an entire different trade while in the video game. So that way, if you actually, in an MMO mindset, crafting professions are often overlooked and are very niche because, again, no one wants to sit there and bang their head against that for days, weeks, months trying to be the best craftsman. It's just a slog. But if you make that more interesting, make it more interesting, make it worth it, and make it more interesting to make it worth it. So essentially, make it so that way if they're not good at it, yeah, they can go pick all the herbs and stuff, but they're not going to know exactly how long to mill it for. They're not going to know the proper techniques to do it, and then the things that they make are going to have either a chance of backfiring or breaking sooner with less durability, have less protections, things like that. And then as they get better, as they learn better techniques, and as they, you know, get better ingredients, you know, they get better at gathering, learn to identify what might be bad, what's good, all that stuff, then they build it better. A lot of games focus too much on the action-adventure part, and there are people that want to, you know, experience that other half of a fantasy experience. Why? Because alchemy isn't something that exists right now. Blacksmithing is all but phased out for the most part. Things that people can learn that would be interesting within that game's world.
Spells are not the only tools at your disposal in
maybe
combat.
a little more interaction
As
than
you
that,
hone
but
your wand skills,
I
you can
really like
continue
where
to
they're
further
going
your
with this,
magical
and
education at
it's,
Hogwarts, progressing your
feels good.
development as a witch or wizard. Brew potions that can increase your power when you need a boost.
Now imagine if the quality of that potion were dependent on the quality of the
Grow and
reagents
deploy
you picked
magical
up.
plants to mob the battlefield and keep your enemies
But all the
at bay.
reagents kind of look alike if you don't know what to look for to know what's special about it. Like
can even
trying
unleash
to make
deadly
a luck potion. Let's say that needs a 4-leaf clover, and there's a whole bunch of 3-leaf clovers that look like it, but you actually have to like look through it and find the 4-leaf to get it to work well with the potion. If not, it's not going to be as effective, right? Things like that.
Break seedlings to incapacitate unsuspecting
See,
enemies.
that's smart. Dude kept a
In
mandrake.
this class, you will learn about a variety of magical beasts you might encounter.
I love that guy.
Both at school and as you explore
Okay.
the world surrounding the castle and its grounds.
Okay, so now I can see that I was wrong initially talking about the tendrils of the creature. It is muscle-based, so it was moving on its own.
Learning and mastering broom flight is
Not
highly
just physics.
recommended so that you may travel around the world more quickly.
Highly recommended, so
I want you
There's
to do my
optional.
herbology homework.
You're despicable.
okay.
Some abilities may be taught to you by students who become
companions?
your friends.
Companion system.
As you develop
I'm gonna call it now. There's probably gonna wind up being some sort of romance system built in, so that way you can flirt with the characters.
relationships with these schoolmates, they can accompany you on your journey as your companions. And over time, you'll learn their stories.
This is our chance.
Just their stories, I'm sure.
Natsai Onai is a brave adventurer driven by the justice she seeks. Poppy Sweeting
She
has a
left you
kind
behind.
heart and loves magical beasts, connecting with them more easily than with humans.
Same.
What happens now?
Unafraid of detention or breaking the rules
Sneaking in the restricted section again!
is Sebastian Sallow, a charismatic Slytherin
We've been over this, boy. Rebel things
charismatic
cannot reverse a
Slytherin.
curse.
with a troubling family secret.
Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
You'll meet these students and more
Interesting.
as you explore common rooms, hallways between classes, and regular gathering areas.
So I like that because that means that your characters aren't going to be locked into like the petty school rivalry things of, oh, Gryffindors don't talk to Slytherins or whatever the case. The fact that you're going to have companions in each one is going to show that like there's going to be, you know, some interconnectivity between them instead of pigeonholing you into, you know, being a Gryffindor like all of the main cast of Star Wars. Star Wars. Wow, my brain's all over. Harry Potter. The Room of Requirements. Let's see what this is, because I feel like this is going to be where you cultivate
One of
your
the most
stuff. It's going to be
remarkable
like your
secrets of
particular
Hogwarts
base.
is known as the Room of Requirement.
I feel like this is going to be your base. Yeah, you get to build out a
You're
station. Okay, so I'm seeing this, and the second that they showed like the room and they panned out and they showed the stations, I got immediately a feeling of World of Warcraft when they introduced your own player base, where it was its own instanced thing, and everyone's base was always on the same spot, but because it was instance, as soon as you crossed the threshold into it, it would turn into your base, and you could place the things that you wanted, like since there were, I think, 6 or 8 crafting professions, you could pick 2 of them to ever have at a time, and then 1 gathering profession or something. My memory is foggy of those times, even though I spent over a decade playing World of Warcraft. But player base wise, you picked what you wanted to have in your base. If you were into herbalism, you could pick to have a flower garden there, and if you were mining, you could pick to have, you know, a little mine that would show up in your base, and it would go down and snake into the ground, so that way you could find veins of special ore, things like that, to kind of make it like your central hub for all your stuff. And you could send your companions out to do a bunch of, you know, automated quests that you didn't have to interact with and would continue going on while you were offline. They even developed an app that you could use on your phone, and you could control all that stuff, and I was all about it. I like seeing that here, because they abandoned that feature as soon as the next DLC dropped, and that base that people spent so much time building up was absolutely
Introduced
useless
to this
after.
space that seems to sense what you need and then provides it for you.
Little invis potion
Since
thing.
you need
Look
to
at
catch
that.
up to your peers, the room provides space for you to sow and harvest plants, brew potions, and upgrade your gear.
Under the guise of
A
needing
helpful
it
house elf
to
named
catch
Deek
up.
helps you discover vivariums that allow you to nurture your own menagerie of magical beasts.
What is it? Deke isn't sure.
Only one way to find out.
You can freely customize this space to reflect your personality and magical specialties.
Player housing! You can have your own player housing inside of the room of requirement. That's awesome. Beyond the castle. Okay, I'm sorry. I went completely player-minded for a second, but player housing is something that a lot of MMORPGs are constantly hammered by their communities for. Final Fantasy XIV put it in there. The garrisons that I mentioned for World of Warcraft, that was basically their version of doing that. I can think of a handful of other ones that actually implemented it, but it's usually after an outcry from the community saying, we want player housing! The first time I experienced it was with Star Wars Galaxies, which I still hold to this day as being one of the best designed games for an MMORPG, because it wasn't just player housing. You could build an entire player town. There was a profession called mayor that they implemented, so that way that person could run the town and dictate taxes, property, and draw the limits of the property for the city and all this other stuff. And you could do it on basically any planet where there wasn't a lore-based city already existent. So anywhere out in the wilderness of Dathomir, you could just randomly run into someone's player city where there's player vendors and all this other stuff. Like, it was really in-depth. And seeing all of this here is bringing all of that, like, seeing those good design qualities that set a precedence for me of what, like, things could be. And then they got rid of that version of the game because someone got spooked by World of Warcraft and changed everything and made it completely bad, and they lost their whole community and it died. But what it used to be was absolutely legendary.
You can freely customize this space to
really
reflect your
liking
personality
seeing
and
these things
magical
come back
specialties.
here. With, you know, obviously modern renditions, modern graphics, ray tracing, all these fanciness. Beyond castle walls, so the world is going to extend beyond the castle, which is already more than can be said for most other of the Harry Potter games.
You'll want to visit the nearby wizarding village of Hogsmeade.
And this also opens it up for, if you don't already have the ability to travel around the world, this opens it up for the possibility that you can go out and explore the world in DLCs. This just seeing the station opens up that possibility. Because even if the station only is supposed to take you to Hogsmeade right now,
where
who's to
loads
say
of
that
shops
they're
and
not going to
vendors
change
can
that
provide
later?
you with the supplies you require. From potion ingredients and recipes, to seeds for magical plants, to all sorts of gear.
More character customization. I see a lot of multicultural outfits here, which is like, I love the inclusions here.
It also has its dangerous side. A band of dark witches and wizards, emboldened by the turmoil of the times, wander the village outskirts. You must avoid them or defeat them.
Giving players the option is also a smart choice, because nowadays a lot of people are trying to find new interesting ways to beat games, and forcing people into a certain playstyle is starting to get phased out. You know, there are people that are trying to do pacifist playthroughs of things. Like, I don't know if anyone's heard, but apparently someone beat Elden Ring without ever attacking. And either they did it or are actively in a run trying to do that, but playing a pacifist run of a Souls game. The fact that they said that you can either avoid your enemies or defeat them here kind of tells me that they're trying to give people more chances and more choices of how to play their game.
And areas of unusual interest. As the school year progresses, dynamic seasons and climates will fill the sky with lightning or sunshine.
Okay, so that means that we've got dynamically changing time-based systems, so that means that we're going to be seeing day and night cycles. If we're going to be seeing seasonal cycles, I can almost guarantee we're going to be seeing like day-night cycles between during actual gameplay and other stuff.
The ground with snow or rain. Unique wizarding hamlets pepper the countryside, each with vendors and residents who have stories to tell, and missions with which they could use your assistance. Be on the lookout for enchanting magical puzzles that may very well have been designed by Merlin himself when he was a student at Hogwarts.
Y'all got me fucked up.
Magical
Okay.
beasts roam the lands outside
Interconnected
the
lore.
castle walls. Some have been corrupted by a mysterious dark magic, while others are at risk of poachers and their traps. If you're feeling benevolent, you can rescue them and restore them to health in the Room of Requirement.
Okay, so we now have a Pokemon mechanic. Yo, the amount of systems that they're putting in this. Oh. I would like to say this right now as a message from a aspiring game developer, and when I say aspiring game, I mean aspiring game designer, because there's development and then there's designing, and the designers those are the guys that went through everything and know all of the stuff to build it from the ground up, polish it off, and present it. Like, I want to be able to do that, and as someone who is aspiring to do that, I'm loving everything here. And I am dumbfounded at how many things they are cramming into this. So, this implies that we saw the bag, it was opening up, so that means that we're probably going to be seeing creatures that were introduced during the Fantastic Beasts franchise and in the Fantastic Beasts lore and books and all that stuff. We're going to be able to catch them and then cultivate them, get them feeling better. Probably means that there's going to be a pet system. We might have the opportunity to see interesting combat pets that you could like summon and release from your bag or something.
In the world.
We know that area is the catacombs, like beneath Gringotts, so we know that we're going to be doing something there, which obviously makes sense since the thing is going to be about the Goblin Uprising. I like the detail that they put into these undead. It's different than the other undead we saw. So it looks like these clips are all from various stages of the development process, because some parts of it look a lot more refined and a lot more textured and detailed than other parts of it.
As well. Dungeons and vaults hold perilous threats and also untold rewards. Be careful where you choose to explore, as it may lead you down a darker path.
A dynamic rotating camera. Darker path.
Master spells. Befriend new allies. Journey across a landscape never seen before.
I'm just going to pause for a second here because I want to say that they said follow a darker path. So I want to know if they are finally giving us a Harry Potter or Wizarding World game where we are actually able to choose to become dark wizards. And if so...
Uncover ancient secrets, combat mystical threats, learn long-forgotten mysteries, become the witch or wizard you want to be, as you leave your unique mark on the wizarding world.
We see dragons, so that's gonna be a thing, obviously.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hippogriffs. That one looked a little more like a Pegasus, honestly, but I saw a beak. Okay. So not only did I manage to find a way to turn a 15-minute trailer essentially into an almost hour-long breakdown, but I am now suitably excited for that game, because it feels like 8 different games in one with all of the different features and stuff that we just saw. So, yeah, I'm stoked. If anyone else is as stoked or has any other information or wants to see particular things or wants me to take a look at any other type of game, whether it's something that's been released or not, go ahead and toss it down in the comments, and I will happily look into trying to get a video made for that. And that's where we're going to cut the YouTube portion, because now we're going to go ahead and open up our projects for Epic Game Launcher. We're going to go to Unreal Engine, and we're going to go ahead and just launch here. I know I could technically do it in Unreal 5, but my school is currently operating on no higher than 4.27. So if I make it in 5, it could wind up being problematic for them. So we're not going to do that. Instead, let's go to games here. Also, I'm going to turn on our iTunes music, because now we're going to get into our jam, our little workflow here. So first off, I'm going to open up a new project here. And I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, so I'm just going to call it Module 9. Module 9. Okay, Module underscore 9. Yeah, thanks. Blueprint, max quality, starter content. Yeah, I'm okay with all that. No ray tracing needed right now. It's going to be basic stuff. So typically we'd see me struggling to, you know, cobble together things and test them out and try and do specific, very specific things. But for right now, I already actually have something kind of pieced together. So don't hate me, but I'm going to look for that right now and try and copy some things over to make life a little bit easier. So let's see, I had the game here. We're going to double click that so that way it opens up in a separate Unreal Engine project. I think this is the right one. If not, we'll know. But this one should be what we created on stream. Yep. This was last January for anyone that doesn't recall when we started this particular project, but we made this. This was when we were experimenting and figuring out how to use the landscape tool, so we created this little basin, and we set our player loose with an HP bar, aim mechanic, the little ray line showing where our line of fire is and where the impact zone is. We had some basic texturing, character models that I imported, but this was third person that I turned into a third person shooter and included my own shooting mechanics and all this other stuff. The enemies have health bars. The rocks have collision because I wanted areas to hide because we do have some ranged attack enemies. She got a shot off on me, so when the line turns green, that's basically just hit validation. I wanted to make sure that the shots were landing. And yeah, so this is basically it. Spline moving. Unfortunately, it gives all that force and transfers over for the character. I'm not going to be doing platforms like that this time, I don't think. So this isn't a level design project. This was literally just a game engine project to get familiarized with Unreal. So I actually went through a whole bunch of like YouTube, mixed it with the things that I was learning in class. I'm going to let this guy blow up on me. I'm going to let that guy blow up on me. Come chase me. Come chase me. Come chase me. Come chase me. Shoot me. Shoot me. I don't know why she stopped shooting me, so I'm just going to shoot. Hey. Heh, -60. As soon as the character disappears, those disappear. So this is all stuff. Everything that they're doing is stuff that we personally had to code into it. So I made it so all the enemies, there we go. They all run around randomly and do stuff like that. And that's all stuff that I made in the AI brain, which is exactly what we're going to go into. I'm going to get rid of the sequencer because we don't need that. And I'm going to... Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was really messing with some stuff in here. Shit. There's my animation sequences for everything. Fuck, I really put a lot into this. I don't think I'll be able to copy all of it over. Like, I don't think I'll be able to change do the camera aiming thing like I did before. So I think I'm going to switch the other project to... Nope. Let me shut up right now. The reason I said let me shut up is because I was about to say let me make it first person, but all of the coding that I have is made for third person. Look at rotations, all this other stuff. All of this is my enemy AI. Oh my god, all of this was my enemy AI just to chase the player. Oh, okay. So we had that. Let's open up this AI character because this was also a prefab blueprint that I made. Wait a minute. I turned these into prefab blueprints. okay. Retargeted animations, that's right. Maybe I can just change the, oh wait, aim up mid. Aim offsets and pitches. We're going to take all of those for our character. And we're going to export. And we're going to put all of these into not proto-technical. We're going to put this into the module 9 content folder. Yeah, it should be here. FBX, aim up, collision, LODs, export, okay. Here we go. Okay, so we've sent those. What's this AI controller? What is this? Oh, that's in Visual Studio. That's something else. Copyright Epic Games, all rights reserved. Oh, hello. They copyrighted. How do you copyright the? Okay, well, I guess this particular code in this particular order can be copyrighted for them themselves. It's fine. Like they didn't make the code, the commands, but they did organize them in a way that they could, you know, make it proprietary. So I'll accept that. We're gonna grab these, and we're going to also export those because I'm trying to keep as much of my stuff as I can. So we're gonna export those again. AI charger, Unreal Object text. Let me look through here a little bit more. I don't know why everything looks like this particularly. System UE for mannequin. I really included a lot of stuff with this particular project. And I did build this particular thing in a week and a half to 2 weeks. But it was with, you know, purchased assets or the Unreal Market assets that were free at the time and a bunch of other stuff. I was experimenting with a bunch of different things. We can see that I have example maps from other things in here, like all just slapped in there. And I'm really trying to figure out, okay, so that's why it's in like all assets, and I should be looking at what maps? Not that. We're gonna go. Hey, there we go. Oh, that was when I was trying to make my little mutant monster. We have the blueprints. I am actually gonna grab all 3 of these blueprints right here, and I'm gonna export those as well. Yo, these were my first basic charger, shooting, and turret blueprints. Alright, we've got those. What did I put in extra content? No, that was where I was finding extra assets. Character bundles. Nope. Here we... Y'all, all of these animations that I found. Alright, there's the Unreal Mannequin, there's the Unreal Mannequin mesh and textures, there's the aim space, because I edited those as well. 4 level design. Geometry, meshes, oh wow. Wait, why didn't I notice this? Interesting. Third person blueprint. Yep. There we go. I even created a third-person game mode because I initially loaded up a first-person shooter basic setup, so it gave me a character that was the first person, so it's literally just hands holding a gun with a camera behind where the forearms are, so there's no body, and I didn't like that. I really wanted it for you to be able to see the character and aim normally, and I know that it was way out of scope for what I had to do, but it is what I wanted, and I was confident that I would be able to do it. Oh, the widgets. I'm going to export this whole folder. Can I export this whole folder? Alright, guess not. So we're going to copy all of these, and we're going to export those, and, yeah. Export, health bar charger, health bar thing. Okay, so now we're going to, I'm going to drag this off because I have a feeling like I'm going to need to kind of save some of that, but, oh, yes, I would like to import everything. Yep. Okay. The skeleton is going to be, there we go. Huh. Yeah. Import. So basically what we're doing is as we're importing these animations, we're telling it what skeleton that everything is going to be referring to within the animation. And since we made it for the Unreal Engine's mannequin that we had just reskinned with another skin, it was made pretty much exactly for this guy right here. So let's go into, oh, okay, so we have that there. Did it just pull all of those into, it pulled it all into the full asset folder, didn't it? I don't know where those assets just went. Oh, okay, here we go. So, yeah, I was like, I put them all in the content folder, right? Okay, so we have these animation sequences. We've got, this is the third person blueprint right there, yeah. Third person mesh, starter content mannequins. I don't think I need to look at all this. I have a feeling I can, like, copy these, though. I think I'm going to copy them in, I guess we'll keep them for now. Because right now, they're not bound to my character, and you can tell because I'm right-clicking right now, and we're not getting the aim center or aim down, anything like that, so... Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! It's actively running that animation, and that's why that's freaking out like that, because it's acting like it's actually being used right this second. Aim down. Aim space hip. All these animations and stuff are all being handled by a particular controller. And this is all stuff that I self-taught myself, and then as soon as I was done with it, I brain dumped it because I had to move on to summer courses that were nothing to do with Unreal Engine. So I'm very upset that I'm like having difficulty remembering particular things. But I know that it's going to be taken care of in the blueprints, because the blueprints are an important part of all of this. So, fuck, where were my other characters at? The animation blueprint, the blend space, and then the animation sequences. Right, I need to find my third-person animation blueprint. So I'll drag this back into the foreground for everyone. We're back here in our regular, our old project here. We're gonna look first person unused. the follow-along tutorial that I built these guys in. Here we go. The blueprint class, the bullet blueprint class, all of these. Okay, yeah. These are important. Copies all selected assets and their dependencies to another one. Excellent. Oh, hell yes. Did I just... Uh-huh. Which ones couldn't be copied? That's what I want to know. Asset tools. Oh, I just realized that some of the assets that were sent over were probably the visual assets as well. That's my mistake. When it all comes falling down, you'll wish I never knew. So we have our retargeted animations, which includes our aim space, our hero animation blueprint. Oh yeah, okay. So so let's go to this third-person blueprint. And is this the... Let's open this one up and take a look. Construction, event graph. So we see that there's nothing extra on this, so we know that this isn't my my other third-person character blueprint. Point blank period. Nice and simple. So where is my other newer one? That's the animation blueprint. Hello, the game. Let's go to your third-person blueprint. Take a look. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, oh my god, all of this. Yeah, see, I went ahead and put all that stuff in their pre-built template crap, and then I had all of this stuff that I had built up. So I think I'm going to export this, migrate this properly. Asset location, migrate. We're going to move all that stuff again, and we're going to yes to all, so that way it just overwrites all the crap again. Project file is out of date. Would you like to update it? Nice. Third-person blueprint, third-person character. Hey, why is this still the same? That's not what I want. Third-person meshes. Nope. Starter content, retargeted, mannequins, animations, character. Oh, I didn't know they had a UE4 female mannequin. Yeah, see, it's not giving me what I want here. But theoretically, these guys should work if I drop them in. So that's at least one thing that is a possible good thing here. Wait, did I find all that in there, or... We're gonna do this. Right, we'll put you there, and we'll put you here. We're really gonna be double projecting this right now. So we see our third-person character blueprint. That's the third-person example map. This is all for our main thing. and there's the other project. So we're going to try and make this third-person character controller here be like this third-person character controller here. So, first things first, I am going to need to make stats. I forgot about the arrow component too. Alright, so let's take a look here. We've got the follow camera and the camera boon. I'm going to need to add the arrow component. Oh, the arrow component is somehow already, it's inherited. Okay. So the arrow component's there, but it's not showing up here. But I don't think I actually have anything calling it, do I? Find references, no results found. Okay, so I don't have any references to the arrow. I don't need to worry about the arrow. I am going to need base turn rate, base lookup rate is good. We're going to add a variable. It is a Boolean variable, and it is going to be is dead. And let's take a look at this variable here. It's an isDead, it's a Boolean value, but there is nothing else about it. So that's done. Next one is aiming, which is another Boolean value. And that's all we need to do is create that. So basically a Boolean value is like an if-else, almost. It's like a conditional. So we're saying that with this Boolean value, is dead or is aiming, our character either is or isn't dead, and is or isn't aiming. And by setting that Boolean value to true or false, we're saying that one of those things is true or false. So that's all the bool is. So we're creating bool variables for determining in the code whether our character is alive or dead. Next, we're going to create the bool variable for FOV, which is field of view. Actually, it's not going to be a bool variable. It is going to be a float. And did I have anything else on there? FOV, float, default category. Nothing else was really added on here. Let's make sure of that by going here. Yeah, we're good. I don't recall messing with anything there. So we skip over that and go on to the next one. This is going to be a fun one here. The default weapon class. We're adding that there. And we are going to take a look at this because the default weapon class is an actor. Actor. Class reference. So we're matching that up here. Make this variable a container type. Yeah, current character type, actor. Make this variable a container of selected type, array, set, or map. Array, set, or map. So correct. We have that set up, and nothing else added onto that. And the last one is default weapon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that as well. Default weapon, and this is also going to be an actor, but it's going to be of a different type. So we're going to type actor. We're going to go here, and it's going to be an object reference this time. Because if we look here, it is the variable type weapon master. Wait, did I make that already? Banger. And that literally still just says actor and everything, so I didn't have to do a specific one for that. But okay, so we've got these, we're going to compile them, and now I'm going to grab all of these, copy them, and I'm actually going to get a closer look here to make sure. So the any damage thing, the damage test key, I forgot about the test key. So basically in the game, you can just keep spamming G and you will die, because it takes off 15 health every time it does it, and I did that to test my health widget and health variables and damage, so that's a thing. So that's what these do right here. The any damage and the damage test key are for that. And in order for that to work, we have variables called health here, which are part of, I think, either my level blueprint or something else. It'll be brought up, I promise. We see that we don't have anything weird. Oh, right here. Functions. Get pitch rotation. This is important. We're going to call that get pitch rotation. That is an important thing because the code for that is what will return our character. It's going to help our character aim and tell our character how they need to, be smart and aim. We're going to do these. We're going to copy all those. We're going to return these values here, drag them over, and then do this right here. Plug that right in there and make sure get base rotation, target self, target is pawn, rotation, Y pitch. Yep, all that looks good. It compiles. That's the other important thing, is that it compiles properly. Our construction script doesn't have anything on it. Our viewport isn't anything crazy except for this special arrow 1 component, which doesn't really matter here at the moment. Some of these things are also there to figure out where things are going to be shooting from, right? So, yeah. Don't worry about the way the character looks. That's literally a skin that I have, the SK Power Thug. Don't worry about that. We can easily go back and make this UE4. Oh, that's for the skeletal mesh. Whoops, never mind. We're gonna ignore that. Okay, so pitch rotation's there. Oh, that's right, we still need to copy the rest of the thing. I copied it and then I didn't actually dump it. So here we see create UI widget. I did make the UI health widget here. I think this should also recreate and dump that off, honestly. So let's fix context, set aiming. Oh shit. In the new context. So I need to cancel. Okay, so what they have, event tick is normal, set aiming is a custom event, and spawn weapon was a custom. Check stats. We're gonna repaste it and then see what it popped up. So no aim orient, spawn weapon. I'm gonna write these down real quick. In a panic. So set. Damn it. Aiming, aim, orient, no aim, orient. So all of, from what I'm remembering, these aim orientations are for camera orientation. This is all the bullshit I went through just to make the character go from carrying at the low ready to raising it up and then having the camera zoom in and be mounted behind their right shoulder. That's what half of this is. I will never again, I said it after I went through this project, but I will never again critically judge someone for having trouble making, certain camera movements and certain things happen smoothly, because it is not easy. But in that same breath, if there's a team of people working on something, I'm going to be very critical of the fact that there might be things broken, because they have a team of people, and that means that something slipped every single last one of them, and no one thought to be like, that doesn't look good, let me fix it. That's why I've been becoming more critical of things. So spawn weapon, create matching function in blueprint. I'm gonna see if doing this will work. Spawn weapon, there's the event tick, input action fire, there's set aiming, there is no aim orient, there's the aim orient. I think we actually got it. We have my audio sound there, blueprint, bullets. Let's compile. Oh no, here we go. Set aiming exists in third-person character. Wait, what? Graph name set aiming? Oh, wow, 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 wow. Where did my health value come from? Right, I'm trying to remember. The stats! I forgot the health and the max health stat values. And I made a category for them, and that's why. Okay, so we're going to category default. Oh no, I can't make another one? Swing not dead. Got him coming off the top of the head, dude. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna create the max health, and we're going to change it into a float. Yep, we're gonna change that variable type. What was that? Hey, Winter Rose, thank you so much for liking the stream. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. And thanks for sharing the stream. Shit, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to get distracted. Thanks, really. So, half of our problems here were caused by... first off, I don't know why it says set aiming is a problem right now. But the get and set health values, that was my mistake. Because I didn't change it properly. So we've created that max health value, and now we're going to go ahead and create another float variable. We're going to call it health. I said we're going to call it health. Fucking fight me. So we noticed that we had placed it in stat before. That's not going to be doable at the moment. Stat. Okay, so we didn't change. Oh, okay. So health, we set that there, and then we set max health there. So I need to compile it first, and then max health I will set at 200. Move. Recompile. What's our new issues? Found more than one function with the same name spawn weapon, second occurrence at spawn weapon. No aim orient. A second occurrence. What do they mean? 4 fatal issues and 2 warnings. Okay, so the 2 warnings: input action event references unknown action aim, and unknown actions fire. Input action fire. So why is it such a thing that's doable here? Let's find the references. It literally only exists there. More than one function with the name spawn weapon, with the name no orient, with the name aim orient. Why is it saying that there's multiples? Alright, so I'm gonna go to check stats. I'm going consume input and override parent binding. What? That's on input action fire. Yeah, no, those exist there too. So it's something else here that we're missing / messing up, and I'm noticing that it's 1 and 2 being the ones where it's like it's an unknown action, and for the other ones it's saying that they already exist. So, okay. Fuck it. We're going to... Which one was that one that I just deleted? What did I do? We're going to undo it. Okay, so spawn weapon. I'm going to go... Call function spawn weapon. Interesting. Set call function set aiming. What? Crazy. Aim orient. Yo, okay. Okay. Aim orient right there. This is crazy. And then no aim orient. I'm gonna pull that up. No aim or they changed it from custom events to actual calls like this. I like that. So we've got those, and then input action. Input action. Input action references unknown action aim for input action. Okay, so we need to create the action of aim then. Is that what the problem is? Let's recompile this. Oh, pin is aiming, named is aiming, doesn't match any parameters. Aha.
Between our clicks, you got homies that I'd lie and let you create shit. I got homies by my side, will never let me down, cause I'm surrounded by a crowd that wanna see me win, bitch. On a roll, I stay fresh like I'm sushi. This ain't a play, you get boss like you Judy. Rats on the mind like the shit ratatouille. Whoosy, I went with that, I'm was newly.
Set aiming is aiming, but I want it to be a negative. Okay, so if I... Yeah, no, I knew that was going to be the thing. We're going to delete this, because we don't need that. Yes. I know it's in use. It's in use very stupidly. The thing is, when I drag is aiming onto there, it just makes it automatically... Oh, wait, there we go. Released is aiming. Set is aiming to not, and set is aiming to true. I guess. Does that work? No. Pin is aiming, named is aiming, doesn't match any parameters of the function set aiming. Looks like we're going to have to recreate our aiming. Set aiming was pruned because its executive pin is not connected. Oh. Does that work? No? It doesn't? None of it. None of it. Get rid of those. Recompile that. So we're still having an issue with these two right here. So input action fire and input action aim. So without those two working, we can't spawn our third person character and make it work properly. So we're going to need to figure out what specifically. Also, I want to do a check stats up here. branch condition. It checks the health is greater than or equal to, and then sets character movement, player controller, blah 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 blah, and then it sets that value. Okay, so we're going to do check stats repetitive because I am the head of this. All right, so we got rid of all of the old, or a good amount of the old custom events that we had. Okay, so is aiming is the condition for this. So is aiming does exist. We did make it. Okay, let's see if I input action, make input action key mapping. Set members in input action key mapping. Let's make an input action key mapping action name aim. IM input action key mapping, and that can be what? Struct copy variables. Nope, nope, nope. Crazy. It's the problem of trying to do something that I haven't touched in a year. And also the problem of I am actually greatly distracted because I need to be right back. So I'm greatly sorry for people that are here, but I actually need to take a break, step away for a little bit, and I'm going to look this up while I'm doing something else, but I need a little break. So we're going to hit the be right back screen, and I want y'all to bear with me. We will be back soon. I don't blame y'all for leaving because I am going to be gone for about 10 to 20 minutes. So I'm apologizing ahead of time right now, but deal.
Power level, unbeatable. How we keep on breaking through to defeat them all. You wanna mess with us? Unbelievable. Goku, reaching heights unachievable. I keep stepping up, yeah. I can't get enough, yeah. Say I'm a grind, I'm tough, yeah. Feeling super. I'm about to make this rough, yeah. Leave them in their own blood, yeah. See what I've now become, yeah. Feeling super. It's repeat of summer. You did it with a leap, make a streak of stomach. You're not even in my league, let me teach you manners. It's better you retreat or you'll sleep, not never. Through the heat and anger. My gear numbers, got a RCG where I keep the hammer. When I blast these beams, they'll bleed and scatter. When I speak, it's bangers, no sense you being even beat like batter. It's the same with a widow's peak, I make widows weep. Your little freaks up below me. Leave a stress like a limousine, no shinobi, louder, so I'm stronger than was Zenobi. You're weak from my POV, given the TOD. Destructive finish, you won't breathe. Kill streak like a COD, so I be the weak when you're messing with a GOD. Coming on the point blank range. Wonky blast running through your brain. Zenkai boosting, you gotta feel rage. If you can't swim, better face my waves. Let me have full through a mountain range. Kaioken, how I drop these K's. I got a power that it can't contain. Act like a down, I'm gonna break this cage. Power level, unbeatable. How we keep on breaking through to defeat them all. You wanna mess with us? Unbelievable. Goku, reaching heights unachievable. I keep stepping up, yeah. I can't get enough, yeah. Say I'm a grind, I'm tough, yeah. Feeling super. I'm about to make this rough, yeah. Leave them in their own blood, yeah. See what I've now become, yeah. Feeling super. I keep stepping up, yeah. I can't get enough, yeah. Say I'm a grind, I'm tough, yeah. Feeling super. I'm about to make this rough, yeah. Leave them in their own blood, yeah. See what I've now become, yeah. Feeling super. Drip blood, grey, you don't wanna roll with the snakes. I've been putting holes in your face, pain,
messing with a whole nother race. They fucking with the goals and we take names. They be acting bold but they ain't change. Head in the cloud saying ready, can't stop the accounts. We bring a new dawn like it's daybreak. I got the gang by my side, them a ninja race. Act like a touchy, they sick with the ninja race. Fuck up your village, go run from a ninja race. You know I wipe out these bugs like a ninja raid. I watch a ninja break, cause some may be killing with ninja blades. Care what no ninja say, what can you ninjas take? Naruto chatting a whole lot of shit, but I don't give a fuck about your ninja way. Take out the stage like I'm changing the recipe, that's complimentary. When I sing waves leaving bodies compressed like an empathy, they got in therapy. Don't go assuming you beat me, I'm smoking these dudes like I generate energy. Henny, you sending me. I don't see people, I only see eyes of the damned who are dead to me. Bitch, I'm a whole nother entity.
Red clouds, lost in the smoke, keep your head down. Red clouds, you wanna hear the dead sound. Red clouds, they gonna lost the next round. Red clouds, will they be seeing a red cloud?
I don't know where to begin. Anger keeps fueling my sin. Controls me deep from within, but still won't let me drown. I'd wipe the slate to stop the pain. These fucked up thoughts inside my brain won't fade. I might never find my way, but we'll make the world bleed grey.
Cross your brain like a flashcard. Data, I got the bombs in the ground, got you looking for traps like you Akbar. Haters complaining, but them lot on mid like a band pass. I make your body a landmark. I got no solace or peace in my black heart. Really don't give a shit, patting like Sasori. I'd even fuck up your grandma. They wanna talk later. Look when I walk, craters. I give a corpse a new neighbor. Conan, these bitches go mad for the paper. Conan, these bitches go mad for the paper. Cover them up like I'm changing the layers. I put a hole through your chest like I'm Zetsu. This is my game, you're not even a player. Who knew? Eyes on my back like a kuzu. Tsukuyomi, new moon. Overrated like anime ciphers on YouTube. My crew's goons drive through you like Zulu. Got jutsus you can't use. I send spikes through senseis like voodoo.
Red clouds, lost in the smoke, keep your head down. Red clouds, you wanna hear the dead sound. Red clouds, they gonna lost the next round. Red clouds, will they be seeing a red cloud?
I don't know where to begin. Anger keeps fueling my sin. Controls me deep from within, but still won't let me drown. I'd wipe the slate to stop the pain. These fucked up thoughts inside my brain won't fade. I might never find my way, but we'll make the world bleed. I don't know where to begin. Anger keeps fueling my sin. Controls me deep from within, but still won't let me drown. I'd wipe the slate to stop the pain. These fucked up thoughts inside my brain won't fade. I might never find my way, but we'll make the world bleed grey.
What has happened, I can't quite see. Over the crowds that stand in front of me. Eyes are watching, eyes are watching. Could it be a bad dream? I feel safer at night when I look down from the rooftops above. What if I could erase the past before the damage was done? Who I am and what I've done, my consequence has come.
You lot are bastards, we bring in 5 guys like it's Taskmaster. Bite size like the BBC, we've been schooling kids like their stepfathers. You can write a diss, but I'm writing shit over all of it with a red marker. It gets harder, I cannot die, just stay in my zone like commanders. We the best party like Reykjavik, ice and they joke to themselves like it's Arkham Asylum. I shut down the missiles like Corbin or Trident. They thicker than any the chicks of Love Island. They know that I rock with my peers like it's Brighton. My crew pulling up for the hunt like Orion. They envy the way that we rapping, so they run their mouth up online and start calling it bias. In the streets like the Wombles, we make good use of your bad rubbish. Bring the heat, apple crumble, I keep an extra plate in my hand luggage. Laughing at shit like a Jolly Roger. I got bars with a twist like an Artful Dodger. On the beat you get hit like it's cops and robbers. Give a pound, they shut up like a gym locker. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Bias, 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 they want smoke but they won't light fires. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Come fuck with us, come try us, you can't fuck with the UK bias.
This ain't a bias. This is defiance stuck in the fires. A call to the fighters. We pave the lane that you'll ride on, you buyers. Golden we Midas. You took by holding the gold, you some liars. The only gold that you know comes up from a deep fuck fryer. Silence, I don't wanna snip it from you, bro. I just wanna hit this lick and go. Squad blocks ups like pick and roll. You'll be some coffee beans. You're too bitter from the roast. Get off a Twitter, take a joke. Storming the stage, we take control. Of course I'm biased. Self-employed and my boss is an arsehole. I don't like lying, but I keep a cannon on kill like I kick it with Arsenal. Stupid folks claim you don't live this life or you don't recognize a metaphor. My baggage excessive, I need to express it, and that's what I rap all the metal for.
Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Bias, 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 they want smoke but they won't light fires. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Come fuck with us, come try us, you can't fuck with the UK bias.
Call me hot-headed, but shit has been pissing me off to next level degrees. Not having a meltdown, just airing my thoughts, cool off with the breeze. Clearly I'm the best of what I was trying to be. And trust me, that was never you, cause no one does it quite like me. Where's the performance? Where's all your tour stops? Where's the endorsements? Where's the support slot? Just like the way you are with the dames, it's too premature to be firing your shot. Don't mean to be embassy and it hurts. You're in a DMs, but she's in my merch. It's not a shock that my tweets leave a stain, cause I've had no one teach them the bees and the birds. Don't gas me up because my ego's tripping. I'ma grab the pump and drink the diesel in it like a match with a tongue, swallow that with a dot just to show you that I have the guts and you're not matching up because you turds I doubt. My time is not infinite, even never curse you out, none spare for you yapping at me. So please leave a message after the
Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Bias, 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 they want smoke but they won't light fires. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Come fuck with us, come try us, you can't fuck with the UK bias.
Ha! I told them I'm next up in nerdcore. They thought I was a sheep to that low bro peep. Now they wishing they came through and heard more. Said it might be Splatoon the way I use my ink to take over the scene. It's a turf war. Let them know that we rep the UK. You reppin' New Day. Back to his head making Kevin Bruce Wayne. He hit the default dance on his new grade. Got the place cracking like Edward Newgate. 100 M's off a track on my Usain. Thought I'm sick now just to wait till the new strain. Listen, cause I could put a man in a hearsey. If I'm rolling with shower when you don't bring dough, things tend to get a little bit cursy. Put a man in a predicament thinking it's okay. I know that he's sick of just seeing us on stage. Sharon got the way that I'm seeing through all the fakes. So he's joking about the team, we're consuming the whole thing. They just mad at the boy that been shining. So I'm not surprised by the way that you throw shade. The opposition try to find me. They just making me the deck and we aim at your domain. Bah!
Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Bias, 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 they want smoke but they won't light fires. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Come fuck with us, come try us, you can't fuck with the UK.
The culture clash, we wear bowler hats, clothes are black, this'll go one way like a cul-de-sac. Already told the lads if you're a rolling rat, go ahead and east end him. Close the chap around here, we wear trousers and we spell centre correctly. But if they want to army, then send them to the ER for a bit of free healthcare, you get me? Show 'em real football, kick 'em in the testes. I don't cockney, I break knee, tell a brother to take key, this for your safety. Try to flat out a straight breeze and tell him say cheese. Send a fella to Hades, whatever make peace, I don't like you. Reiki, catch these hands your babies, cause you're getting on my nerves and glands. And lately, I've been working on the perfect plan to take nerdy music further to the world of fans. So let me flex on them, yeah, you're lucky I don't release weekly. Flex on them, buddy, you know you can't beat me. Flex on them, study my flow is so beastly. Flex on them, I'm deadlifting them, look, them man I shook. My life's a manga, you don't get booked, don't try us, your crew ain't giants. So you stay quiet, bow down to the UK bias.
Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Bias, 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 they want smoke but they won't light fires. Bias, 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 you can't fuck with the UK bias. Come fuck with us, come try us, you can't fuck with the UK bias.
Tick-tock goes the clock, the seconds chase the minutes, no more small talk. Find the lock, the secrets I am searching for. I care to take a look, cause I'm so sick of the pleasant the cut is getting deeper just so long as it bleeds. Tick-tock goes the clock, the minutes chase the hours, no more small talk. Found the lock, the secrets I've been searching for are. Try and pull away, you'll feel me digging deeper. There's no way you can escape, so let the demon inside. Feel the darkness in my mind. Roads of chaos solidify. No more chances, say goodbye. Poison, coalesce within your veins. Taking you over day by day. You can fix a poison heart. 'Cause it was over from the start. Twisted around your neck, can you hear me? Whisper inside your head, do you fear me? Knew that I got eyes always watching, waiting inside the shadows are hiding. Sinking into the ground, can you feel it? Choking on every word, can't believe it. Don't be afraid to sleep in your grave. I'm taking over your body, promising I will keep you safe. Just close your eyes. Let the venom carry through and break those ties. Feel the darkness in my mind. Roads of chaos solidify. No more chances, say goodbye. Poison, coalesce within your veins. Taking you over day by day. You can fix a poison heart. 'Cause it was over from the start.
Okay, all right, I'm back. We are returned here, and let's change volume levels. Let's hit live screen. Let's get right back into our workflow. I'm sorry that we needed to step away for a moment, but we're back here. So we took care of our set aiming, aim orient, no aim orient, and spawn weapon issues. So that's gone. So I realize now what the potential problem that is remaining might be. So if we look here, first off, the whole set aiming thing. So we're going to delete this, because what we're going to do is we're going to drag this variable out here and set is aiming. Oh, look at that! It's crazy! And then we're going to set is aiming over here. Oh my god! So we do this, pressed, perfect, released, perfect. So checked off is aiming. So when the input action aim is pressed, you are aiming. When you are released, you are not aiming. And we're gonna drag and connect these right here. Now the question is, did we connect those? No, we did not. Aim orient, no aim orient, all that stuff is still good. Okay, so let's recompile that. Excellent. So all we have left is these event references are unknown actions. So what we need to do is go back here, and we're going to go into, what is it, settings, project settings? Is it project settings? It should be project settings, right? Input. Action mapping, jump, reset VR. let's take a look at this. So if we bump this down, we can see that it says, oh, spacebar, oh, Vive, mixed reality. So it basically has a bunch of triggers for the action jump. So I think I'm going to add the action mapping for, we're going to put aim. Let's see. For aim and for fire. Perfect. So we have aim here. We're going to also... Ooh, whoops. That was a mistake. We'll close that out because we want to also put action mapping here for fire. And for aim, we are going to have it be mouse. Mouse X, mouse Y. So right mouse button. And that will be all, and then left mouse button for this one. Excellent. So by having those there, let's recompile, and there we go. We got the green check mark. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we fucking got it. Okay. This can be a thing now. I'm just gonna grab and drop this guy right here because I want to see what happens. So we hit play here on this project. One or more blueprints has unresolved compiler. Are you sure, or you want to play an editor? Oh. All these blueprints have conflicting errors right now. Okay. Okay. We're going to open up all of these right now, and we're going to get a big, massive, big brain look at all of the busted things. So after that window was closed, all of those opened up, and that's all well and good. Hey, there we go. So we have our player character, which was just shat out of nowhere because here's the other character that we dropped, and it's just kind of existing there, which is fine because that's not the person that we need to be. But because I didn't bind the animation blueprints to this character yet, we can see that my animations don't change. I'm not like aiming when I'm doing this. My arms aren't coming up at all because there's no weapon there. That's not how I have the character's, you know, idle animation set up or anything. So we do have the option to... Oh, shit. Okay, so the bullets exist, or they are existing in a way, and it still has my sound all bound there. So as we can see here, all of these errors that popped up when we started playing in the editor. So accessed none, trying to read property default weapon, and it's because we haven't set a default weapon here yet, which kind of screws with a lot of things. And those are all runtime errors. So we should probably try and find where our default weapon is.
You better shut your mouth, that makes sparks in the seas like a thundercloud. QG, how my demons are run them out. Spooky, I've been scheming at underground. They all run around the bozos. I believe in them, except the dozos. I can be holes in them like ozone. They be running home to cry the go-go. If I could you simping him, then it's your time to go. You could discipline, you need a fighting code. I keep the monster in like I'm a lion. Call me the king of kings like I'm a Cyrus Road. Got a buzz in me like they go silent mode. You live a luxury, we don't design a clothes. They go 1, 2, 3, they gotta try to cope. You're not small to me, I need a microscope.
Give gun to player. Okay. I need to figure out what these are. Is aiming could not be found. So let's click that. And this one is in Weapon Master. So we're going to go back to our main thing here, and we're gonna fix all of these errors. We're gonna go ahead and slap the weapons on our character because this is supposed to take 2 weeks. This particular project. I have 2 weeks to go ahead and make this into a functional, playable level, and most of the focus is supposed to be on the level itself, but I won't know what kind of level I want to build until I know what the functionality and features are that are going to need to be experienced and portrayed. And I know that people have different workflow patterns. I know that some people are going to be like, well, I need a map so that way I know what I can play with. Well, I need to know what I can play with before I can build around that. I'm weird like that. You know, people go ahead and build a deck of Magic cards, and they're building around a whole core concept, or like they have a bunch of different ideas to synergize and work together. And me, I find one thing and I build the entire thing around it. My best deck was an artifact deck that I built around one card, which was Memnarch, an artifact creature that lets you turn, for mana, turn a permanent into an artifact. Like, that's its permanent new thing. It becomes an artifact, and then you can take control of target artifact for like 6 mana. It was a high cost to take control of an artifact, but let's say you turn one of their best things into an artifact, and then you could just steal it from them. And it was great. And I built an entire deck around just that one card and that one concept. So that's how I build. I find the one thing that I can really taste, that the concept just really strikes me, and I'm like, oh, I can run with this, and I can run real good with it. That's that good type of inspiration. So I need something to build around first, and for me that's not the map. The map is something that I can build after. So here we know that I am trying to build. We are looking at Weapon Master, so I'm gonna just type in weapon. Oh Jesus Christ, that's right. I forgot how much weapon crap was in here. First person templates. Fuck. These are all the weapon packs that I downloaded for this, which is kind of shit for me right now. Let's see if I can default weapon. Gun. Yeah, I could just make another gun. Well, this is the Weapon Master thing that's currently on my stuff. Oh. I'm going to fire underscore player. And we're going to drag that off over here. And get rid of that one. And recompile. And how did that change the is aiming thing? Was it the target? Because it didn't have the target on it? Okay. Interesting. So this now is apparently good. Let's take a look at this. Is dead could not be found. Okay. So player variable. Okay. So what do I do instead? What do I do instead? Read variable of is dead. What, for the AI charger? So theoretically, if I put this here and I do is dead, so I'm going to delete those two, and I'm going to grab these two new variables that I created, which are literally the exact same, but I have a feeling that redoing it is all it really needed. And if I hit compile, look at that, we're good. For the AI brain is dead. That's pretty much the same thing again. So we're going to delete those. We're going to drag off the variable that we created here. We're going to get that player variable, and we're going to drag it off and make sure that is dead. Because we recreated these values, we need to go ahead and substitute them in, because we personally created these instead of it being part of the import, and that's where I messed up, because it wasn't importing my third-person character properly. So by adding those in and then copying and pasting all of the code, it took all the code, but then it's like, wait, anything that interacts with the components and things that I put into the third-person character blueprint is now kind of fucking broken, because it's like, okay, I see the variable is dead, but that's a new is dead, and I don't understand it. And that's essentially what is happening here, and that's why it's breaking every single one of the things from the copy over. But if we just re-establish those links, because notice the AI character ones are fine. That's because I didn't rebuild the AI characters myself. I properly imported those. So this is compiling correctly. I'm assuming AI character also has an isDead variable. Yep, there we go. Call fire at player. It's to make sure that is essentially to check if the player is dead before it starts interacting with the player. That's what these particular variables are for. Oh, crap. I don't remember what I had to do. Was this something that was there? Oh, wait, condition right there. Yeah. I was like, wait, where? Okay. So we have our AI characters here with damage, spawning weapons, taking damage, our begin play variable, which gives them their weapon, and everything. Just everything. You guys don't know how much I put. This was a very manic week where I built all of this. So that was a thing. So that one's working. Oh, the animation blueprint. Okay. In use, target pin. Third person character. And it's all these new variables that I had. Okay. Blow your mind. So we're going to take this, is aiming, and we're going to delete this one and add that there. And then we're going to get our little is dead. And we're going to plug that in there and get rid of this one. And for this, we're also going to do get pitch Oh. Get pitch rotation. Yes. And then I set the pitch from there. Alright, now with these values here, it should be better. We fixed the pitch rotation. The target and the pitch pins are fixed. The is dead and is aiming is all fixed on the hero animation blueprint. Bone manipulation disabled in this mode, that's fine. And yep, here was the NPC version. Which, okay, so, oh crap, I already closed out the other one. So we're just gonna do this again so that way you can all see. So as third person character, which is the target, we're gonna get the is aiming variable, and we're gonna drag that to be just above the broken one, and we're gonna reattach this here so we can see that. Perfect, get rid of this one. We're gonna do it again. Target is the third person character, is dead. Himafi dead. And get rid of that. And one last one, get pitch rotation. Hello? Oh, it's still got context sensitive on. Uncheck that. Get pitch rotation. Alright, so we want to see this and know that this is, you know, a new one and not the same one that I'm plugging into here. We're going to drag this to here and then get rid of that. Slide that in there real nice like and compile and... Oh, wait. Get pitch rotation was pruned because its exec pin is not connected. Where was that other character blueprint? I think I done fuckered up. Not the animation starter pack, I don't think. UE4 mannequin. It's not in the mesh, is it? There's my aim space that I created. Character bundle. The follow along tutorials for all this. Weapon Master. Why is this one not saved? Timeline, my prime. Okay. Was it one of these? Saving the AI brain now. And the AI boom brain, because those are all working. Third person blueprint. Open up this one. Maybe it's this one that... Yeah, the compile is not working, which is why. An unnamed pin? Fire player. What was that function before? Underscore. What was this function? Call an unknown function to Jesus. So it was a function. Shit. Okay, so we're gonna come back to our third-person character here and look. Okay, so target is Weapon Master. So it was Fire Player from Weapon Master. Where was my Weapon Master script over here? It should have been in the follow along. Weapon Master. So give to player. Okay, set on. Give to AI. Fire AI. Where's Fire Player? Fire Player exists. Call unknown function Fire Player. So, wait, if I go to third person character here and I do... Let me make sure I'm on the right part of my keyboard. Fire AI, give to AI, give to player... Okay, so... The fire weapon is like not actually functional here. Fire player isn't actually functional here. So we're going to create a custom call. Add new function. Oh wait, fuck! I'm on the wrong one. I was over here. Whoops. We want. Shit. It's not in macros. Okay, so it's gonna be somewhere here in the graph. Not a new event graph though. We're gonna delete that event graph. And then we're going to come to this one, and we're going to... Oh, come on. Rename, delete, convert event to a function. Add custom event. Damn it. Fire underscore player. Compile, And third-person character, recompile. Oh, look at that. It exists now. So, I mean, theoretically... And what's this one? Get was pruned because the exec pin is not connected. I don't think that needed to be connected, but we're going to double check it just to make sure. We're going to go to our content folder. Just our content folder, right? No result. Check your filter. Okay. So we're going to go to... There we go. First person unused, follow along tutorial, and what are we on? This is the UE for TTP, so that would be in my enemies. Oh no, that's my old enemies, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Anim starter pack, not these, wait. That's the old blueprint. I literally put it there and it says old.
When I'm tripping, I'm fishing. My blood is mythical, biblical, making miracles. My brother caused the motherfucking flood when he was christened. Look at all the people who watch me on every Friday. Look at all the rappers that copy my font and typeface. They be getting bread, I be getting carbohydrates. When they hear the beat, then they be ducking like a...
Here it is. Jesus. Sorry that it's like being so problematic to get something that should already be functional working again.
When suddenly the butler Humphrey comes to bug me. The captain wants a company in the club, lovely jubbly. You've heard of getting smashed, I'll be getting Humpty Dumpty. Every time I step up in the booth, I'm tapping on sound to the touch of a mood. Ducking my tongue in its rusty hues, or some of the subtly bubbly fluid. Intricate picture of picking my ear, detecting my quill till I suddenly spew. Lyrical wizardry, spitting my musical missive like bibbidi bobbidi boo. Climbing the drapes, I'm going ape, raising the roof like Schwabbity doo. Cause it's the baddest, yes it is, to reap a little hullabaloo. Chaps got the raps on tap, the cap, the chairman and Duncan too.
Alright, well... It's weird, because this one is like this, but then this one's like... Oh, wait a minute. Literally the same. Okay. I'm stupid. Well, it's good enough because it seems to work. We're also going to go kind of back and open that up again because I intended to save because it's not saving yet. Yeah, see? When it has that little star in the bottom left corner, that means it's not actually saved, and it's going to ask you to save it again when you go through it again, or when you're about to close out. Our third-person character is compiled right now with no problems. What's the problem with this one? Max health could not be found. Oh, okay. I know how to do these. So we're going to drag the player variable, get player variable right here, and then we're going to set health. Set health. Oh wait, no, this is getting the percentages. Right, so we're just gonna get health. And we're also going to get max health. You're crazy, bro. I love it. Some wild blue. Yeah, man. This is like as I'm looking at it, it's all making sense again. The things that that didn't make that much sense when I was working on it was the animations, because I'm not familiar with animating at all. But I was kind of teaching myself how to identify the pieces of the skeleton, where to bind certain things to, because technically if I want to slap my weapon on here, I need to import a gun, so I'm probably just going to grab the first-person shooter gun, slap it onto my character, and bind it to certain bones in their hand, so that way certain parts of the gun are always interacting with the hand in certain ways. And a little fine-tuning to make sure that when it raises up, the gun moves where it's supposed to. I remember doing that to balance things out, but I didn't have to worry about it during the actual animation parts. That was like once you set the animation, you can mess with the third-person character blueprint in the viewport, and you can move things around. Because here is where I would drop the gun in here, and I would set his I would set my main character's idle stance to not be this. I would set it to be, you know, holding the gun like this character over here. And from there, I would attach the gun, make sure that the trigger finger is in the trigger well, and make it so that way, like the little arrow that I had in my third-person character here. Essentially, this is the state that we're looking for, an idle state for our player. Is we want him to stand like this when he's idle, and then have his hands like that, so that way the front of the gun rests there. The reason we have that arrow there, this arrow component is hidden in-game. We checked that off somewhere around here. Yeah, see, visible but hidden in-game. So that arrow is basically to help you identify where the forward is of where you're aiming. So it's actually slightly off-center, as you see, but it is lined up perfectly with where your character's gun is, the front of the gun is aiming. And the reason that the character doesn't look like they're holding the gun here is because they're not. We have it set so that way in the master weapon blueprint, none of the enemies spawn, or rather the character doesn't spawn with the gun. Technically the enemy shouldn't either. Their gun should spawn after the fact. But when you hit start play, it'll spawn you, and then it'll spawn the weapon in your hands. Jesus, lots of chatter. Right, so for these widgets, we want to go ahead and change that there, and change that there, and then get rid of these, and then we'll recompile this. So this widget that we created is a UI-based widget that essentially is always going to be present on our character. Right there, there's our widget. I'm going to click in here, and we're going to... Okay, so as we can see, I'm going to walk around a bit. We still have all the basic controls, but we also have, even though I haven't uploaded the animation blueprints and everything for this character, we can see that because of the blueprinting and the scripting that we just did, we have standard third person, but also right-click to aim, and it brings it basically over the right shoulder without having the character in the way, so we can kind of see where we're aiming that way. And then releasing it just kind of snaps us right back. We can see that it's a thing that we can just do over and over. It's only messing with the camera, not everything else, but spamming it is a little jarring because we haven't set like camera movement speed limitations or anything like that, and it's not something that I'm really going to be too crazy about trying to do. Because in my opinion, everything is kind of fine the way it is like this. We technically don't even have to put any kind of gunfighting mechanics or anything like that, but I want that to exist in the concept that I'm trying to bring up, even though I've got like 2 or 3 different concepts in my head fighting for attention to be created first. I have an idea of the things that I want it to do, and we see here access none trying to read property default weapon. So that means that without that default weapon, we're not actually firing our weapon, and we can only hear the sound of it happening. How can we go ahead and fix that here? Because we don't have a, we don't actually have a weapon equipped to us yet. There's the ship rotation. We don't do anything with that construction ship or construction script. Here we have our aim spaces. What is this? Oh, the master materials, maps, and surfaces that I had for me trying to build new basins and things like that. So we have our retargeted animations because we wanted to move shit. We have our widgets, the health bars for the chargers and all that stuff, blueprints, third character blueprint. Let's reopen this again. Even though I know we just had it and just closed it, I'm looking hopefully for we can get rid of this right here, this new function that has no actual purpose because we accidentally created that. We're going to do that. That's probably also something else I want to try and do. Let's grab these two. Let me create my own little... Hey, there we go. And now I can drag health up into stats. There we go. Max health and health both belong in the stats category for those variables. Nice. And then default weapon class. The name of the variable is default weapon, and the variable type is weapon master, so it's like creating a default weapon. We're trying to create a default weapon, and we're trying to make it so that way it will automatically use our weapon master blueprint. Hit compile. I'm going nutty here. That's the event graph for this. Wait a minute. If I... Let me hit save on this and let me go to viewports. Let me close that out. Let me go back to not content. I want to... We have our aim and stuff here. Aim space, iron sights. Is aim space hip? Is that our idle? Maybe? I'm trying to remember the specifics of the aim space thing without me having to go back and look up more tutorials on it again, because I did try and step away and look at some of those. So, blend space, what a blend space is it's an interim animation, because for those of us that have been doing some level design in another project, it was really simple kind of stuff. You know, we animated things with sequencer and it was real nice, but that kind of stuff might be a little more difficult trying to do things for your particular character. So here we've got a whole bunch of animation starter pack stuff that I had grabbed. Here it is. Oh, that's the old blueprint animation. Wait, how is that one old? Cast a third-person character. That's the movement and then the jump. So why is that one like that, but this one is UE for ASP? Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. So that might not be the correct one we want here. There's the aim blend, aim down, aim offset pitch. Oh yeah. That's not what we're looking for. The mannequin animations, third-person animation blueprint, which is the jump, idle, jump loop. Oh wait, this idle animation might be the one that I need to change. This might be the one. Okay, so if I go back to... Not the animation starter pack. We already had it kind of over here. So theoretically, I can change my my third-person character's animation blueprint. Yeah, see, animation class, use animation mode, use animation blueprint, and we're going to change this to this one. This should be the character. Let's see what happens when we hit play here. Yeah, it still has this character being it. I don't know why, because our character is... Wait a minute. We're going to get rid of that. Now will it make me take control? Nope, it just drops me out of the fucking sky. this randomly, and we are going to start adding stuff. So, skylight, no. Ah, damn. Oh, interesting. Volumetric light shafts. Oh, wow, that's going over all of the skylights. That's an interesting little snippet. Baby, oh no. I will work with this. So we want to... If I open up this character here, I should be able to, in details, maybe change out the character asset stuff. So if we go to mesh, that is the mesh indeed. Simulation component, physics. There we go. But it's still not actually working right. Why? Hit play. Hey, alright. So, kind of, but not really. And this third-person character is essentially useless. We can get rid of that one. But I need to figure out... Oh, wait. Close that out. What is this? Source control, disabled, localization, disabled, asset re-import, import a new asset. Okay, those all work. Map checks are fine. So what happened? Play in editor. Started. Okay. And none. It's not showing me any actual errors. Interesting. That's not the right one. Blend space jog. See, this is the idle animation I want. Like, these are all of the animations here that I really want. Okay, there's the old one. So what if I go here? So that's not even the right one. Like, I don't get what's happening here. And this is the basic ass character, but it is using their little blend space stuff. Interesting. See, my aim space and all that stuff exists here. Why is my animations not working the way I want them to? Alright, we know that our third-person blueprint character here, that we have just spent all this time getting the pitch rotation and doing all this stuff and making work. All of this is here. So what is happening that is wrong? We have our stats values, actor ticks, base turn rates, dead aiming, all that stuff is going to be set on its own default weapon class. Also, no, we don't. No, we won't. Jump times, interesting. Auto-possess player, auto-possess AI, placed in world, AI controller class. I'm going to put the AI brain there for that one. And for whenever it is an AI that's operating.
your neck hanging rats like I'm Peter. Leader, top of my block like it's Giza. Break every article, they know my name in Geneva.
Actor not hidden in game. Obviously, generate overlaps. Can be damaged. Jesus. Would that be a potential thing here? Oh, that's a terrible mesh. Crap. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to just be the skeletal mannequin for oh, wait a minute. If I do that one and then do how about that for an animation blueprint? Yes, no? Come on. Will compiling fix it? No? Okay. Character movement, gravity scales, not anything here that we're changing. We have the rotations and everything from that. Orient rotation to movement. Very smart. Movement capabilities, we're not changing any of those. Nav meshes, we're not. We'll put a nav mesh in there later. Probably at another stream, another time. We also have about 18 minutes left here where I'm going to work on this, and then we'll cut stream and I'll be working on stuff separately for a bit. Any further questions when we continue this about what was done, I will happily answer. But for now, oh, wait a minute. So if I do that, and get rid of most of these textures, I don't like it. I'm trying to. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. So I'm going to go into the we're going to go up to that enemy that I was just looking at, actually. Was it a mannequin? Animation? Third person animation blueprint is the original character? Nope. Where's my character? Power Thug, textures, meshes. There we go, SK Power Thug. So here is the bones. Alright, here's what I'm talking about when it comes to binding things and all that stuff. This is why I'm like, I know why our teacher is like, yes, you are definitely going to have to worry about particular things such as working with teams, because you're not going to do everything yourself. Because look at all this. Those are all bones. Each individual one of these things is a particular bone of the mesh. And, you know, the more detailed they are, then the more they're going to go into particular things like actual bone structure of the human body. Let's see, I have the skeleton there. I want to change the mesh, though. Done Falcon Zuna. The pounding Huga. Yeah.
might get clocked in your loud jaw.
Kurama sucking with Southpaw.
I'm on the roof and get knocked to the ground floor. Was another battle when I'm tagging all out war. See his babes always fall for the QB. I till I go John them all in the QB. Rubbed on the tip.
So you see where I have my little character bundles there.
Get the perfect shot, that's a Kubrick movie. Up the gut, see the view from Fuji. The net see me shoot the toolie, bust a true Susan and a boogie woogie.
So here we have the SK mannequin. There's the skeleton. Let's take a look at that skeleton again. Yeah, see, everything is there. For the mesh, we've got that. For the animation... Okay, so my animations are here.
Look at me now, I've made it. Know that I've been the greatest. Look at me now, I'm famous. Act like a god, I'm sacred. Look at me now, I've made it.
Okay, that's using the old animation blueprint. So theoretically, if I were to go to content, mannequin, character, mesh. Is that my current one? Yes, okay, so here we go. So we have our SK mannequin here, and now I'm gonna look for the different, the blend space. Third person animation blueprint. Okay, now we're getting places, guys. We are starting to arrive at our locations here of where things are supposed to be. Third person character. Jesus. If I sound tired and like worn out, I do apologize, but I have been getting a little tired. So retargeted animations is where we will probably find the proper animation blueprint that we want to use for this. So unless I want to create our own thing again here. What is this? What would you call this? This blue thing here. A skeletal mesh. Okay. So by giving it this body. View options, show C#, search asset path. No, come on. Showing other developer assets. No, you're not. No, you're not. Where the hell do you find those? It's not in the follow-alongs. Retargeted, aim space. Jesus. So I'm going to open up this animation blueprint and we're going to try and do something else with it. There's the jog state, crouch walk, event, blend spaces, the aim offsets. All of that exists here. So that's important because we're going to change this mesh right now. Yeah. This is getting annoying. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to minimize this because I want this full screen now. I want to just focus here now. We've copied over the hard stuff that's to copy. Now it's just a matter of making this thing understand what we want it to actually do. Because it doesn't seem to be registering that there's things in other locations at all for some reason. So let's go to our third person blueprint there, and do this, and look at why it's not saving things properly. There it is. It's probably because we don't have an active animation class, yeah.
But my gang, we stay heartless. Start fires when I load up the cartridge. Hardwired, I reduce the carnage. War dog, I leave him hurt when I give him the boot like a martyr.
I don't get why it doesn't, like, load. It's the same type of mannequin. Excuse me. Okay, so what happens if I put SK Thug? If I put the SK Thug and it does the... And it keeps not letting me fucking go and change this to look like it's the same mesh. That sounds like a 2 pulls forward with a step in my field. Because I don't want all of this. I don't want to rebuild these animation classes. I don't want to do this. Get pitch rotation trimmed. Yeah, this is still my... Wait. Why is that different now? Yeah, whatever. And I can't keep this. I can't keep this one particular thing because of the fact that it is an Unreal... It's not the Unreal model, and he'll get bitchy about it. He's like, don't use any of the outside marketplace stuff, and I get it, but I already have it. Hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna close the sequencer and I'm gonna open up another another content window. What the hassle? Man thinks I'm an asshole. So we're gonna take this animation. We're going to grab this one and we're gonna drop that in here. We're gonna copy it here. I'm gonna save that in there and see if that lets me change anything, honestly. So let's go to SK Mannequin here. Let's go to animation. It's using those blend spaces. Why is it using those blend spaces as opposed to the whole animation controller? Okay, so that's in the Anim starter pack in the aim space. It won't make... It doesn't make... How do I make this my player character? I'm tired of this now. Whoops. I went too many layers deep there. My crew serve a purpose, they ride in the channel along with me. Can't try to control us. They'll be coming after this card next like a Discord VC. To beat me, you need a marine fleet. And every one of the CPs. Could be a Yoko or be a Waller, you ain't me. Whenever you hear me, my punches will get three. Living life going merry, I'm spawning physics actors, player, start, actor. Guides using player starts. Attaching a character to a player. Why my player's not at the starting point? How do I use player start? I'm looking up how to set a new default character, and the only reason that I don't do that while y'all can see is because I don't know what will pop up, so we don't want to accidentally get ourselves shut down. Oh. So, settings. Okay. Where's the... Okay, so... Project. Was it in general? Gameplay tags? Game mode button? Game mode? Default game mode, default pawn class. There we go. There we go. Okay, so if I set that, save that, hit play. Yo, bet. Okay, so we have the aiming guy, but it doesn't have any of my actual damn aiming stuff that I just created. So theoretically, go into this, and yeah, it doesn't have any of the stuff. That's great. Sucks. We're gonna have to finagle a lot of stuff here. Player controller class. Oh, there's the player state. Okay. Crap. I feel like this might actually be a spot that I need to pay attention to, because initially when I first created this project, or the original project that I've been pulling assets from and pulling code from, I made it as a first-person shooter, and then when I realized that I didn't really like that and I wanted it to be a third-person with the ability to be a first-person, like just third-person shooter where I could do the whole camera thing, and I was like, that would be a good test of my ability. So I started it as first-person, and then it converted and became a the third-person shooter that we have seen me just dicking around with and trying to get stuff from. Let's take a look at animation here. There's the bones, all that stuff. Tick animation, skeletal, and okay. So that's not going to be anything that will specifically fix what's going on. I'm going to wind up going through it, and I'll put updates in the Discord, and of course we will be working on this as we have more time to do so on stream. But for now, we are going to go ahead and call this the final ending here for the stream today. And to keep people updated on things, first off, I want to go ahead and reiterate the shift in the channel's content. We are steering further and further away from God and from Dead by Daylight, because that game is broken in too many ways, and given how it's 1v4, the community is very unbalanced in their opinions, because there's basically a constant 4 against 1. PCS out, brother. Yeah, peace out, man. Thank you for being here. I had a feeling that y'all were just kind of having me in the background, which is all cool. I'm sorry that we wound up with so many issues here, but trying to pull from a project that I haven't really touched or like refamiliarized myself in over a year, it's being a little bit of a challenge. We got most of it there. It's just trying to figure out where our default weapons are, and trying to figure out why we can't slap particular animation blueprints onto things. So I think I might go through, clean things up, close out the project, and then re-import everything cleanly. Like, I'm just going to import all of the assets from there and see where it goes. And if not that, then I'm just going to make a new level in the other project. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and save all of that. Actually, we're not gonna save the that. Yeah, there we go. So I'm either going to try and re-import things cleanly and try and rebuild it up from there, or I could go through and make a new level in my old The Game project and basically build from there with the stuff that I already had existent, which I think I might wind up doing. Because trying to recreate these animations, get them all linked up together, y'all don't know. I went through Mixamo to get the animations that were bound to pre-made skeletons and all this other stuff. You know, taking the shortcuts where they were available, but still doing most of the work. And the bits of work that I didn't do were, you know, texturing and model creation, and then the actual like creation of the animations. That was all done by a website called Mixamo, which I highly like tell everyone to seek out if you're trying to do animations. You can tell it what you want it to do. You can pick you know, basically free use character models, and they'll go ahead and spit out FBXs for you to import into your project, which is how I had all those things. So that's also why there were so many different animation things, because I was following a bunch of tutorials. It was my first time using Unreal, and I made it work. But we will have a better thing to work with next time. Right now, I need to start drawing some stuff, and y'all probably have other shit to do with your life too. I don't know why you're still here. Oh, you're probably waiting for me to say thanks to everyone. Okay, so we had a follow from a foreign name that I will not be able to pronounce, so I'm just going to leave that there. Thank you for the follow on Facebook. We had the like and share from John William Winterrose, a good buddy of mine from our first duty station. So thank you so much for stopping in, Winterrose, and thank you for dropping the like and the share. Mike South, thank you so much for stopping in, man, and Special Kev, both of y'all. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having us playing in the background, whatever. Thanks for lurking. Just thank y'all. Can't wait to see y'all in virtual class tomorrow, and, you know, until we are all out of this and working together inevitably. But thank you, everyone. I'm going to thank my wife for this coffee that y'all didn't see off camera, and for helping me with food, and for keeping my head on straight, and reminding me that I have to do human things like eat, drink, and shower whenever I'm like really in a heavy workflow, and forgetting that it's like 9 o'clock at night and I haven't moved in 12 hours. I could not ask for a better wife, honestly. But for all of you,